This is the Synergy MX BioTek plate reader. It's used to read different plates and read the absorbency and transmissions of these plates, or the wells that are inside these plates. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is turning on the instrument. Then I will proceed to open the software. I'm going to open the software, Gen 5, version 1.09, and then I'm going to read a plate. As the software loads, the first thing you'll get is this procedure window that pops up. We're going to X that out and come back to that later. And then I'm going to tell the plate what my samples are. I'll go to Protocol and Plate Layout, and I'm going to tell the machine where my samples are located in my 96 well plate. So here are my samples. Here are more samples. You can also set a blank, therefore the BioTek plate reader will actually use your blank to normalize your data that it spits out. Hit OK. The plate reader also has these syringe pumps or dispensers, which you can dispense any type of liquids that you want inside of your plates, inside the wells on your plates. So there's two in this particular model here, and each one can be used for two different liquids. You just fill up these vials with whatever solution you want to dispense into your plate, and then it will then begin to dispense them into your plate, as we'll show on the machine later. Okay, and now I'm going to prime and purge my lines for my syringe pumps. So I'll go to System, Reader Control, Synergy MX COM3. Let the window pop up. Go to the tab labeled Dispenser. And I'm going to tell the machine what dispenser I'm going to be using. So I'll select dispenser 1. And then I will proceed to tell the plate reader how much to dispense and at what rate to dispense. So we're going to dispense 1,000 microliters at 275 microliters per second. And the first thing that we're going to do is purge the machine. Making sure my reservoir is in my plate reader. I'm going to purge my lines first. So I click purge. It's now purging the lines of 1,000 microliters at 275 microliters per second. Now I'm going to prime the lines at the same rate. So what that's going to do, it's going to prime my lines by dispensing 1,000 microliters into my reservoir. After the line is done purging, your reservoir will come out. We're going to remove our reservoir and place our 96 well plate with the A being in the top left corner into the plate reader. Once our lines are purged, we will then go back to the Procedure tab by double-clicking Procedure here. Once the procedure opens, we can now tell the machine to do what we want it to do. You can have it read a plate, dispense, it will shake, you can have delays between actions, and many other settings, along with setting the temperature of the machine, which has an incubator. So we're going to now read our plate, and this will also be able to read the absorbance, fluorescence, and luminescence. So we're going to do absorbance. We're going to set our wavelength we want to be read at, so we will set it for 405 nanometers. And you can also tell it to read a second wavelength afterwards, after reading the initial 405, so we'll leave it at the 390 that it's set to. Hit OK, and you can now tell it to dispense. So if you want to dispense a solution into your wells, we can go here and we can have it prime the lines just before it dispenses a little bit. Select dispenser 1. We want to prime the lines with 10 microliters, and we want to dispense 15 microliters at 225 microliters per second. You can adjust these volumes accordingly. Then we can select which wells we want to be dispensing in. So we'll click up here on full plate. Uncheck the use all wells unless you want to dispense in all your wells. And select the wells that you want the BioTek plate reader to dispense into. Click OK. Click OK. As you can see here, it's creating an action list of what you want the machine to do. So we will then click OK. and we'll scroll or move our mouse up to here where it says read a plate. Click read a plate. We're going to read, and we're going to have to save this experiment as something. So we will save this one as test. So it's T-E-S-T, and save. It will now ask me if my trough is emptied inside of my plate reader, and if you look to the right, it is empty, and that is for the syringe pump to prime inside that trough. So we say yes, it is emptied. The plate is now in the plate reader. Hit OK, and it will begin to read your plate. After the plate reader is done, it will eject the plate, and you can retrieve your results by clicking this drop-down menu and selecting the wavelengths that you want your results for. So you have 405 or the blank 405 that we had the machine blank. So I'll select blank 405, and I can click this button here, which will then immediately shift the data to an Excel spreadsheet. And then I can also click here and put the blank 390 on the same spreadsheet, and you can see here that your data is now in Excel. And similarly to saving the experiment, we can also save the protocol right here, so you don't have to enter the protocol for similar experiments.